the one who killed Sayaka. It could only have been.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N.
Leon, come on.
L-E-O-N, or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
Likely story.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
I mean, I can.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
I think I do. The evidence that Leon tried to get rid of is that thing I found on the ground in front of the incinerator, right? The shirt piece. From his white burned up shirt.
You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
Oh, you are done for.
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
Oh, we got you now.
The fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty.
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
That's not the only bit of evidence.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
Burnt remains in the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out who's responsible. How it was disposed of.
If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
He does have a white button-up shirt. No, that's wrong. There's another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. Shameless looking ass. The crystal ball.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
Yeah.
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was
No.
the person in charge of the trash?
Kind
And
of.
you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence. Which means the only possible suspect is whoever had the trash room key.
Okay, so the person who would have had the trash room key was...
You.
Huh?
Yep. There absolutely was a way to use the incinerator without using the trash room key. The killer was able to turn the incinerator on by using something I found on the ground nearby. This might actually be a tough one.
Key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
I'm gonna go for this one.
Have to get closer.
Oh, too good.
No, that's wrong.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
You could technically.
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
The killer had to use the glass ball in a certain way, which was to divine with it. No, they had to throw it.
The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate.
Yeah, they must have thrown it at the button.
All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come
Exactly.
to life. Someone threw a gap in the gate? Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy. Crazy how Hifumi's had like 5 different voices throughout the series.
The incinerator could have been turned
Everyone
on
has,
without
really.
its own. Was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate.
Which is pretty mental.
Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire.
Yeah, they would have just got rid of all that if they could get in.
The killer had been on cleaning duty. The evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small.
Very impressive.
Could someone really do that?
Yeah.
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
I'm so sorry, Leon.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
It wouldn't have been much of a challenge at all for the killer. Because they're the ultimate baseball star.
Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
I mean, all the evidence stacks up against you, so...
Surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer. These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you.
Okay, whatever.
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
The closing argument is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Every case has one last element to bring the class trial to an end. This is the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case. You'll have to reproduce the flow of events in the He asked to reproduce the flow of events for the case in the form of a comic book. However, you'll notice that in the comic, there are a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. Also, if you take aim at a missing section and press the X button, holy cow, you'll get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough. Well then, good luck and have fun. So, as was just stated, we have got to put together a comic book of what happened in the case. 10 pages, go through the whole thing almost, and I think I've got all this down pat, but basically you put together the comic book, and then Makoto just talks you through everything that happened. For that bit I will be quiet, I'll let you all enjoy it. So let's see. So, Killer goes into the room. Sayaka tries to stab them. And he backs up into the case. He sees the sheath, blocks the knife with the sheath, hits Sayaka's wrist, unsheaths the sword while Sayaka's near the bathroom. Sayaka runs into the bathroom. The killer can't get in, so they use their screwdriver on the door. They go in, stab Sayaka. Sayaka writes a dying message. Sayaka dies. The killer cleans up the room. Then they go to the trash room, find a crystal ball, chuck it through the gate, turn on the incinerator, chuck the shirt in there, then a bit of the shirt breaks off.
Here's exactly what happened. I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I'd told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there. But the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hero's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw, but the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon?